What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Before we get started today, if you could drop me a like, comment, subscribe, that would be fantastic. Just got my Premier League review from the weekend. I know it's a bit late, been a bit busy this week. Back at football training again, so I'm training Tuesday and Thursday this week. So it's going to be hard to get videos out, but I'm going to do the best I can. So yeah, drop me a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll get straight into the review. So Southampton versus Aston Villa was the first game of the weekend. I had this one as a 2-0 win to Villa, ended up being 1-0 Southampton. Interesting because Villa now, with the Steven Gerrard takeover, I think it's that Villa haven't performed to where I thought they would, and I keep sort of picking Villa as winners, kind of the opposite of what you do with Norwich and things like that, where you sort of assume Norwich are going to lose now. I sort of kept picking Villa to win or at least get a draw, which isn't really panning out how I thought. So a really good 1-0 win for Southampton in the end, and I think it's frustrating as a Leeds fan because I don't want Southampton to win. I want as many teams below Leeds as possible, but Villa's really poor. So can Steven Gerrard turn it around? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Gerrard's actually my favourite player of all time. I thought I would have loved to have had Gerrard at Leeds at some point. It's never going to happen, but you know, that's the sort of player. He's an all-round just perfect player. So and he's obviously done really well with Rangers, breaking the Celtic streak, not allowing him to get to 10 years, winning the league in a row, and got them playing really good football as well in Europe. So interesting appointment. We'll see how he goes. I'm a bit up in the air about it. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to go. Yeah, a bit of. I like Gerrard as a manager, but I just don't know if Aston Villa was the fit. There was talks about Newcastle. I don't know if that would have been a fit either right now, because I feel like Newcastle are probably going to go down, even with investment and Eddie Howe in charge. I think they'll go down as well. So yeah, let me know what you think of that appointment in the comment section below. Next game, Man United versus Man City. Now, I had this 2-1 to Man City because I thought Man United would put up more of a fight than what they did. Ended up 2-0 to Man City, but it was really a routine performance for Man City, and Man United not really putting up much resistance. I know it was 2-0, and doesn't look as bad as the Liverpool game, but it really wasn't much different to the Liverpool game. It's just Man City didn't put away as many of their chances. But you know, Man United in a bit of trouble. It sounds like he's lost the dressing room now. It sounds like, you know, they're starting to revolt a bit against him, and I don't know if it's you know, the personnel or the coach. I think in some respects it probably is more Ollie, because that team there, I think Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola wins the league with that team. It's easily a top 3 side. Arguably got better players in it in most areas than like Chelsea, but you know, that's just how it is. And I think Ollie's probably going to end up getting the sack, which I kind of don't want him to, because I like Man United struggling and sort of just in limbo. I was really worried after the signing of Ronaldo, but you know, he ended up not really utilising Ronaldo very well. Still playing that 2 defensive midfielders. They don't play that attacking football. It's not very ambitious. And you know, if you're a United manager, I know you want to keep the job, and you don't want to you know, lose the job, or you want to be careful, but at the same time, you just got to go for it. The fans will appreciate you going for it more than just playing this defensive, counter-attacking style of football. Chelsea, Burnley. Now, I had this 3-0 Chelsea, ended up 1-1 draw. Burnley's starting to pick up points now, which is frustrating again as a Leeds supporter, but they played really. I wouldn't say they played really well. I think Chelsea squandered a lot of opportunities. They probably could have put a fair few past Burnley, but this is the Premier League. I've seen it as Leeds. If you don't take your chances, you know, it can really bite in the bum. So interesting result there. Point gain for Burnley, points dropped for Chelsea, but luckily for Chelsea, Liverpool dropped points as well, which we'll go into later on. Palace Wolves, I had this as a draw, end up 2-0 to Palace. Palace still playing really good football. I really underestimated Vieira. He's really showed me what this Palace team can do. Playing Edouard on the left wing as well, not really having him up front, but playing him, so Zaha, Edouard, and I think it was Benteke, I think. really interesting lineup, but he seems to have been playing really good football, really hard to beat, but they always are pretty technically sound. Wolves dropping points, but they'll bounce back. They're a pretty good side, Wolves. Brentford, Norwich. Now this is interesting because Norwich picking up another 3 points. Picking up their first 3 points of the season. 2-1 win. I had this 3-0 Brentford end up 2-1 to Norwich, which is frustrating again as a Leeds fan. Teams around us picking up points. Look, we got a draw against Leicester, which was really, really good. But, you know, teams around us picking up points. In the end, I think Brentford had the better opportunities, just didn't put Norwich to the sword, and that's what happens. Look, Norwich weren't bad against us. I think we made them look better than what they are. We ended up getting a 2-1 win, but in this game, I think it's just Brentford's time to sort of slip up and have a game where it just doesn't fall the way they want it to. Brighton, Newcastle. I had this 2-0 to Brighton, ended up a 1-1 draw, so Newcastle picking up a well-needed point. Whether it saves them or not, I'm not too sure. Brighton dropping points there. I think that takes them out of the top 4 now. I can't really remember, but yeah, Brighton dropping points. I really thought Brighton would have too much for Newcastle at home, but apparently not. Everton versus Tottenham. I had this as 2-1 Tottenham. I thought that Antonio Conte would come in and make an immediate impact, but I sort of didn't play into account that Everton are quite difficult to break down under Benitez. End up 0-0, which, look, it's probably a fair result. I think both teams really flat to deceive. Nobody really knocking on the door. I thought Tottenham maybe had the better of the chances. I think maybe that might be debatable, but look, 0-0 draw in the end, and Tottenham not really kicking on to where Conte will want them to be. Apparently he's banned pizza and fizzy drink and stuff like he did with Chelsea back in 2015. He's banned it from the canteen, so he's just come straight in and just started dictating, which is what you want him to do. He's the manager. He's the one that's going to take him places if anyone, and I think he's going to do a really good job there at Tottenham. Arsenal versus Watford. I had this 2-0, end up 1-0. Watford with a red card. It's I think Arsenal looks really, really good in this game again. And now they've just been picking up points up after that start of the season where everyone was slagging them off, and you know, even I doubted them a little bit. It was tough games, don't get me wrong, but that the Brentford game was the one that I questioned, but Brentford now showed that they're not as bad as what people thought. And the last game, which was the biggest game of the weekend, West Ham versus Liverpool. Now, I put it down as a 2-1 Liverpool win because I just thought Liverpool were in such good form, they wouldn't drop points, but I knew that West Ham were going to be a problem. And the biggest thing is West Ham always had that chip on the shoulder against Liverpool, where Liverpool seemed to always put 3 or 4 past them. It was always a guaranteed 3 or 4 goal win. Now, the tables are turned, and West Ham got the 3-2 win. That's not to say that Liverpool probably weren't the better team. I thought Liverpool were the better team. I thought Liverpool had the better chances. I thought they could have easily put it to bed a lot earlier than that, and they left it too late to make the run happen. Mane missing a sitter from it's about 6 yards out with a diving header. Plenty of chances missed. Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick, which was unreal. But look, overall, I thought Liverpool were better. So just a bit of a blip for Liverpool against a tough West Ham side in the end. But yeah, it was a really good game in the end, a really good weekend of games in the end. I really enjoyed it, watching it. It sucks it's international break this weekend. I might get a little video out of the England games. I'm probably more of an England supporter than I am an Australia supporter, which some people might crucify me for, but I grew up with my old man waking me up at 4 in the morning to watch the England games, so that's all I know. And with Calvin Phillips in there, I've sort of, and you know, I'm Bamford in the past, but not anymore, but Calvin Phillips in there, I've got to sort of support him. Plus, I love it. I love the Euros. That was a great tournament, that last Euros, and obviously disappointing against Italy, but it was. I loved it. I loved watching all the games. The whole tournament was really good. I watched every single game pretty much, and so I can't wait for the World Cup next year. It's going to be really, really, really fun. I never used to like tournament football as much. I used to just be Premier League and Championship, or mainly Championship actually. But I used to watch the Premier League, but yeah, it was a lot of Championship. But now, really enjoying the Champions League, really enjoying the Europa League, watching my team Marseille, my French team Marseille in the French league. and in Liga and the Europa League and stuff. It's really made me appreciate that competition more. But yeah, anyway, that's the end of my video. That's sort of my thoughts and the results, and you know, it's more just me rattling it off and going with what I thought my prediction would be and what happened. If you could drop me a like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. And I'll see you soon with another video, hopefully this weekend. Peace.